I'm Polly Bath, and I travel throughout the country helping schools manage and intervene around difficult behaviors that are interrupting instruction. Today, I have a question I'd like to address about some of our littles, our youngest of kids. How can I help my littles to self-regulate and calm themselves? Some days they keep it together, and other days they unravel at the slightest challenge. Developmentally, our littles don't know how their body kind of talks to their brain, and therefore they can't change their mind on their own. So when they're uncomfortable, they don't like what comes at them, they just automatically react. It's somewhat of that limbic system, that fight, flight, or freeze, or the system that actually talks to me and manages my emotions. When I don't know how to manage my emotions, I look for a way to get out of it, because that's all they know. With our littles right now, they need a heavy dose of co-regulation, meaning they're depending on how we respond to them versus telling them what to do. Which is the hard part, because when they do something like reach out and scratch somebody or hit somebody, we've got to be super careful that 2 or 3 adults aren't all of a sudden going like this, oh, there we go, something's going to happen. Because see, they read that and they read it very acutely, almost hypervigilant. So if we are doing this and get the walkie-talkie out of our hip, we may actually push that kid into the hit or the bite or the scratch. So the best tool we have is to, number one, super co-regulate. They start to unravel, we keep it as calm as possible. Now, if I have that child who actually gets physical, then we have other adults involved to help us with that. But we've got to make sure that that kid can read the signal that we're okay. See, because if we're okay, they're okay. The second thing we need to really focus on is if we have too many of them in the same classroom, we've got to start to push aside. Yes, I said it. I'm hearing the curriculum people come at me. But we've got to start to push aside the pace of some of the curriculum, because if they don't have access to their own emotional regulation, it's going to be hard for them to get to learning how to spell their name, work in centers, pre-reading skills, and all the things we do with kindergartners and littles right now. So we want to focus a little bit more on embedding, if you will, self-regulation skills into everything we do. That means we're going to have to slow our roll, not do things as quickly. It's not line up, go to the next thing, line up, go to the next thing. We want to slow that roll a little bit. It's okay if you're a few minutes behind. If you've got to get to lunch at a certain time, start to line up earlier. Cut something else short. Focus, go to your media center and let people know that I need reading materials for read alouds that I do, 2 or 3 times a day. And they're really focused on regulation skills. Some of those, the greatest, children's books you can find out there that focus on how to be in the moment, what to do with anger, the old Bernstein Bears. If you're a little bit older like me, maybe when your kids were growing up, you remember how they focused on all kinds of things that impact little kids, and kids could super relate to that. Look for those. There's great media out there and there's great stories out there. So use those to help embed it into every single day. The last thing you can do is have that consult, if you will, with your occupational therapist. These folks have absolutely fabulous things up their sleeves. If you can just get them to come and observe your class for 15, 20 minutes or more, if they have that in their schedule, I know they're all stretched, they can give you just a few little pointers that might help with that nervous system as well. So it's purposeful, it's intentional, and it has to happen throughout the whole day. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, watch these videos, and if you've got questions for future videos, put those in the comments below.